Alright. Let's see if everything is working. As I punch the camera. Thankfully it's not the one you guys are on. Is my sound working? Alright. Okay, it is. Good. I don't need to hear my voice anymore. Thank you very much. Alright, there we go. Woo, Sunday, fun day. I'm glad it's not Monday, though that is rapidly approaching. So, what are we doing today? I was going to set up and place more Necromunda, but honestly, I'm feeling a little bleh. Messed up my meds this weekend. Party. So that sucks. That's a big old suck time. Suck fest. So, because of that suck fest, I'm not going to play anything today, but I am going to do some hobby instead, which could be pretty fun. I have a ton of hobby projects right now, so I'm trying to knock some of them out. Thankfully, I just did that yesterday. So, yesterday, I completed my box of Beast Snaggas. So the entire Beast Snaggas celebration box. I got them all painted up like my WoW boys. So they're looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with them. So they're all painted up. This guy, he's got his orange stripe there. Hello! So he's looking pretty dope. We got the big knob as well. Shown him off a couple times. He's been painted for a while, but quite happy with him. But we've got some fun little dudes too. This one's in a custom pose because I wanted to do 2 units of 10 versus 1 unit of 20. I really wish these guys actually could run in units of 5, but unfortunately they can't. We got some guys with like the thump guns. Here's the crazy woods hobo, all painted up, looking sufficiently nasty. There he is. But yeah, finally got all them done, so that feels pretty good. They're all nice bright colors, ready for their basing, which I'll probably start tonight. This is one of the custom pose ones, but I really like this pose. It's so dumb, but it's just a really cool, like, raw kind of thing. But yeah, that's all of them. I actually lie. There's also this one. This Squig hog doesn't have any markings yet, so he still needs markings. So I lie. They're actually not fully done. That guy still needs to be done. We also, this week, got our first box of Malifaux, which is pretty fucking cool. So this is my first Nightmare. This is an Alp. So there he is. I liked what they were doing with the card, and I wanted to do something kind of similar. Partly because this reminded me of Insidious, the demon from that, so I thought it was pretty cool. This guy's face I screwed up a little bit, but it's all good. The red teeth just don't work super well there. But I've got the rest of them all ready to paint up, so I'll be working on them this coming week, which will be a lot of fun. Also need to get some of the Stormcast Eternals all painted up. I got them coming as well. So I've got a box of Dominion plus 1 box of Bird Dogs because they're cool. What else do I have on the paint table? I got my Tau that I bought in case. One, I bought it because the Tau Battle Force box is fucking awesome for like getting to paint different Tau units. It's just really cool. There's a ton of variety in it. Basically, it's a box made out of like everything in there is unique. There's no like duplicates or anything. So that's one of the reasons I picked it up. But I gotta get them painted too. Yeah, I don't know. Lots and lots to do. But today we're gonna work on this big old throbbing donger of a Tyranid here, because I finally decided on a Tyranid paint scheme, and I really like the Tyranids. So he's gonna get painted up like our friend the Living Womb here. My mom mentioned these look sort of like ghost crabs, so I thought that was kind of cool, so that's why I put that in the title. But there they are. So I've got that one painted. I've got a couple of the Gene Stealers painted. And then I've got Mr. Jazz Hands here all painted up as well. So he's pretty fancy. Probably see him better on this camera. Yeah, he's better on that camera because he's just fucking massive. I customized his arms because if you put the arms on normally, basically you just can't put vehicles next to him, and it's super annoying to play with these models. So I made him put his arms up in the air instead, so that he is easier to play with for me and my opponents. But today we are working on giant penis gun. That is this guy here. So he's been reposed a little. He's usually a lot more squat, but this model is supposed to be a piece of artillery, and I never thought that made sense if he's very squat, being a piece of artillery. So I cut the arms here. I cut the sockets for the leg. I cut the tail. You can see it's a little crappily done, honestly. But my plan is to bury it like in the basing material, so it looks like it's like dug in kind of thing. But I cut there, I cut here, I cut the arms, and then these got blue stuff, green stuff. They're a little rough, but I don't think they look terrible. And then what else did this guy get? Oh, this guy got this cool horn because I wanted to add something else to the head, just because I didn't think it was, I don't know, armored-y enough, considering this part here is the part that's going to get shot, and there wasn't really any armor here. And I added this big chest plate. This is a chest piece from a back piece from a Carnifex. Again, because I wanted him to have armor on the front, because I was like, that's where he's going to get shot. And then I gave him these little arms from Hormagaunts, just because I thought it looked cool for having him to have little feeder arms there. And with that, we can start working on this big old donger. That's a sentence, right? So, my desk right now is covered in paints for our for the beast snag, as I showed off a little bit ago. However, for my Tyranids, they are very, very, very simple. I need to get more of this. And we need one more. There it is. And that right there. Oh, wait, hold up. You need this for the eyes. And that is all the colors to make this cool kind of gross Tyranid. And that's it. So, as opposed to... I was just going to switch to the camera. As opposed to all of that, which I used on the beast snag as I showed off earlier. So nice and easy. Alright, so first off, let's go ahead and let's check them out. Alright, so I sprayed these guys with Gray Sear. Now I just need to make sure and go back and touch up the stone. I'm not going to worry about the stuff on the shell yet, so we'll get that second. But things like here I want to touch up, things like that. So let's get ourselves a big painting brush. Whoop-a! big painted brush. And we're gonna go to town, getting some stone golem blocked in. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for these guys. They're nice and easy. And I am very happy with them, and I'm very happy to finally, after almost a year of doing test models, I am very happy to have an idea for how I want my Tyranids. Because I have painted literally dozens and dozens and dozens of Tyranid models trying to find a color scheme I like. But I really like this one. I think it's cool. I think it's gross. I've not really seen a lot of Tyranids that look like this. So I was trying to do like painting them like different sea creatures and stuff. But every time I did that, like, they just, I don't know. They felt so generic. I say as I basically have a gray model saying that they feel generic. The irony there is delightful. But yeah, I don't know. Just like the bright colors or something. I don't know. It didn't feel, I don't know. It didn't feel like spooky and gross and like, you know, like you'd be scared of them if they like came out of the water at you, you know? I don't know. I do like the idea that, you know, my headcanon that these things sort of live in the ocean. But yeah. So yeah, I'm just basically using this just straight. I should probably be watering it down a little bit on that. Just because I'm trying to get some coverage for a base down. I'm not really doing extreme detail here. I'm just sort of hitting different areas that I think could have a little more of this kind of like weird off gray tan color to them. Because I will be putting contrast paint over this, but it's going to turn it into like a pseudo gray. But I do want it to have that look to it, where it like looks like the base coat is complete underneath. But because I will be hitting it with that contrast paint, it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. If I screw up a little bit, it's okay, kind of thing. But at the same time, I still want it to be pretty damn good. This is my big artillery bug. My space shrimp with his giant alien donger. But yeah, very, very happy to finally have an idea of how I want these to look. Because, very much so, like, these things, like, tortured me when I sat down in my hobby room. Like, I would sit down and I would be like, holy shit, what is this? Please, Tyranids, please, just have a color scheme I like. But no, it's taken me almost an entire year to come up with a color scheme that I like for them. I have an entire box downstairs of models that I've stripped. Like, I've stripped probably, 30, 40 of the fucking Gene Stealers. Plus, a Hive Tyrant, the Swarm Lord, the name of the Gene Stealer boss I can't remember, the version of this guy that has the big mouth on it. But we got there in the end. Just experimenting and trying different stuff every time. And eventually figured it out, you know? It's pretty great. This is Squid Pink. This is probably like my favorite pink color. It's very cool. So we're just going to use that. We're going to touch up some of the areas here and there. These don't have to be perfect because he will be getting another coat of the gray on all the shell areas and stuff like that, so doesn't have to be perfect. But just filling in his weird back buttholes right here. But yeah, man, weird week for Warhammer. They continue to not put out the new Age of Sigmar stuff. Over a month later, the poor Cruel Boys still don't have their codex. Neither do the Storm Boys. They've previewed those fucking dragons so many times, man. But no, still not out yet. Let me back up a little. Still not out yet. Which blows my fucking mind. Then they went back and shadow edited the article saying they're coming out in August. And it's like, man, GW, like, get your shit together, bro. I don't know. It's just a little frustrating right now. It feels like a lot of like big sort of consumer fun corporations like that, like video game companies and stuff, really fucking up hard. I'm just not doing the best lately. I'm looking at you, Blizzard. But it's all good. Stuff will come out eventually, and I can give them way too much fucking money when it does. But in the meantime, I'm trying to get caught up on my hobbies, and I'm investigating Malifaux, checking it all out. The lore of Malifaux is a lot of fun. Yeah, like, I enjoy the bleakness of 40k. Like, everything is terrible and horrible. That's a lot of fun, but sometimes I need a little break from that. And Malifaux's, like, the lore is equally horrible and terrible, like, with all the people being just and doing horrible shit, but, like, I don't know, there's kind of like a weird sort of like silliness to it that I really like. It's got this really nice, like, fun kind of flavor or feeling to it. So I'm currently deciding what I want my second faction to be. First one's going to be the Dreamer, as I showed him off earlier on stream. Just trying to figure out what I want my second faction to be. And then I will be trying to force my husband to play with me. Sadly, I don't think Malifaux is really a game you can play by yourself because of the way the hands and the cards and stuff work. So I have to look into that. Because if I can get him to play with me a little bit, I would like to play it on the channel if I could. But I don't know. I don't know if you can forever alone it like I do all the games on the channel. But hopefully today people are enjoying their Kill Team boxes. That is it's a thing I passed on. So I don't know. I like a lot of the changes that GW has made for it, but I don't know. A little, like, FOMO fatigued out, I guess. So the idea of hunting one of the boxes down was just not something I really felt like doing. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna pass on this. And then the compendium is a joke. And yeah. Really disappointing. A lot of people's kill teams, mine included, that used to work in the game don't work anymore because they have quote unquote simplified it. So that's a real fucking bummer for a lot of people. Alright, let's see. That up. I want, like, the bottom of this to be pink, and I want, like, the tips to be, like, the blade color. Alright. let's swap over to the smaller brush. Is that the smaller brush, or was I already using the smaller brush? I already was using the smaller brush. And we'll start filling in some of his holes. But yeah, so past on Kill Team, I will probably end up playing it. But I'm not going to be buying things like the rulebook and stuff like that. It's just going to be a pass from me. Yeah, not because it looks like a bad game or anything like that. I think the game actually is pretty cool, but I don't know. I'm FOMO fatigued out. There's been a lot of it with a lot of different boxes, and a bunch of stuff went down trying to get the Beast Nagus box, and I don't know, put a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm looking forward to lots of the regular releases coming out soon. And I am not going to be tracking any of the limited stuff down at the moment. I probably will again in the future, but right now I'm just going to take a break. And yeah, just enjoy what I got and enjoy checking out some new games and stuff, which I think is very healthy. I've enjoyed really all the tabletop games I've played. I haven't really found one that I haven't really liked yet, to be honest. I liked Old Kill Team. I love Warcry. It's my favorite game. 40k is fun. AOS is really, really good. The new AOS is. Big fan of that. But, Legion is a lot of fun. Really enjoyed Legion. So, I'm hoping that I will really like Malifaux. Worst case, I'll get some really cool models to paint out of it. But I highly, highly doubt that I will not like it. So, I have a friend at work who's interested in Malifaux, which is really neat. So once I get some teams painted up, maybe I'll convince her to come out and play. Hawaii's numbers are still really, really high, unfortunately. By the end of the day, we're at something like 750 yesterday, which I know is nothing compared to, like, Florida. But for Hawaii, when a month ago we were at 20, that's a big deal. So, So I am still, unfortunately, avoiding the game stores, which is a real shame, because most of the game stores were just starting to, like, get their events off the ground and stuff. But, I know, first world problems, but, it is what it is. I will say, the orcs from the Kill Team box are phenomenal looking, and I cannot wait until they are released separate. I'm quite looking forward to them when they come out. But I will also say one of the things that put me off the Kill Team box was the fact it had Krieg in it. Krieg are cool, but to be honest, I am not a big fan of all the people that really like Krieg. I feel like Krieg are a little bit of a dog whistle sometimes for not nice people, and I don't really like that. So because of that, I wouldn't really feel comfortable putting them on the table. But hey, if they're your jam, go for it. Just don't be a racist piece of shit, and we're fine. Thank you. I will say the Hammer and Bolter episode that was free came out yesterday, and it was highly enjoyable. That is the Warhammer Plus cartoon thing they put out. Very cool, very fun time. I super enjoyed it. Definitely, the animation was a little rough in it, I will admit. But I really liked the art style. It was very like 90s Saturday morning cartoon, like SWAT Cats or something like that. I really, really, really liked the art style, like He-Man or something. But the animation was a little rough at times, and definitely could be shored up a little bit with just a little bit of work, and they could make something really fantastic with that. It's a really good base, I guess, what I'm saying. Plus, I mean, anything about Commissar Yarrick is amazing. He is an awesome character. And a very nice piece of representation. Which is good, considering he is, like, the human badass in 40K. And also married to a dude. So that's super, super cool. And good to see. Commissar Yarrick is the shit. Go. Oh. So that was kind of cool to see. I enjoyed that. Enjoyed getting to watch that yesterday. I watched it while I ate breakfast. But yeah, if they just tighten the animation up a little bit, I think they'll have something really, really good. Is it something that's worth paying for in its own streaming service? No. Is it something that's worth getting for free because you're going to pay for the apps anyway? Yes. So, because of that, I think it's pretty good. If I wasn't paying for the apps, I would not pay for it to get just those cartoons, assuming everything is of the same quality. But because it's basically going to be free, because I'm going to be paying for the app anyway, I will happily enjoy it. Go. All right. God, what other Warhammer news was there, or mini? Oh, apparently Malifaux is getting some kind of expansion thing. Right when I'm like getting into it. It's called like the Burning Man or something, and apparently it's like a redo of a bunch of the like the original models and characters and stuff. They're now getting like a Burning Man corrupted version, which honestly is pretty cool. I think that's a really neat way to do it, especially for a game that's basically hero driven, because Malifaux is essentially like a hero shooter where you play a main character and then everything else sort of supports. Well, everything, that's not how other teams work, but what I'm saying is, like, when you build your team, you pick your hero and then you pick the guys that can go in your hero's team. You don't pick like, I want this tank, and then it's like, who can take that tank? No, you're like, I want this guy. Oh, he can take this tank. You do it like that. But yeah, I gotta pick a second team. I'm kind of on the fence. There's a couple cool goblin teams, but I feel like they're things I've sort of painted before. I've painted lots of orcs and goblins and stuff. But like one of them has like a whole like pig army where all his troops are like pigs. And then one of them is like super rednecks, which is pretty funny because like one of them is like the redneck trope of the girl with the big tits and the little shorts, the Daisy Dukes kind of girl, and then like a bunch of like country bumpkins with like the shotguns and stuff, which could be really funny and fun to paint. There's a couple like Asian inspired-y ones. One has a kitsune with it, which is really neat. Oh. And there's like a Jack the Ripper one where all of his like teammates are like undead, like I think so. In the box, they look much more like showgirls, but I think the implication is that they're all prostitutes. But they're all like kind of zombie-eyed. I'm assuming it's because this guy is like a Jack the Ripper reference. And there's like a Rasputin one, and she comes with like a bunch of big snow monsters and stuff. And there's one that's like kind of Native American-y, where everyone's like turning into animals and shit. Definitely some cool stuff. Alright, did I miss any pink? Don't see any pink I missed. Sweet. Okay. To the peace tea. Yeah, don't see any pink I missed. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake Avalon Sunset. But yeah, definitely some cool stuff that I am thinking about. There's a couple like kind of like steampunk robot-y teams, which are pretty cool. And then there's like a Mexican like gunslinger team. That's pretty cool. Everybody's wearing like, you know, they look like the good, the bad, and the ugly kind of thing. Like a bunch of them are in like sombreros, and it's pretty cool. Very Desperado-y. Yeah, there's some cool ones. There's a lot that are like kind of like Cthulhu, like. Ew. So like they might come with some like cultists, and then maybe some like Cthulhu monsters. And there's one that has like a bunch of these weird little like beetle creatures, and then like one big tentacle monster, and then like what's clearly like a cultist summoning it. There's some cool stuff for sure. Just have to figure out what I want for my second team. You know, I've been told the one with the Kitsune is very straightforward, which I think might be good for a second team, because a lot of them have like really crazy intricate rolls, which is kind of cool. They can do some really wild shit. There we go. So back to 40k talk. This thing, the lore for this thing is that the giant alien dick on top, that's actually the creature, and this little thing, the little head below it, is actually the thing that moves it around. So like this is the main bug, and then this thing just drives it around essentially. But yeah, all right. So we got all of our pink painted in. We have to clean these up because they look like crap. But we're not going to worry about that yet, because we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our contrast paint on. Let me get this mixed up. I'll get there eventually if I am. This in the palette so I don't knock it the fuck over, and we're gonna get it. But yeah, definitely lots of cool teams. I have to figure out which one I think is the coolest. Some of them, like, they have really cool like expansion models. Like if I was to pick up one of the like Asian inspired teams, a lot of the like expansion models for it are like crazy like Oni and yokai and stuff. It's really, really cool. A lot of A lot of the ones where the hero is less interesting end up having really, really cool models. Like the kind of Native American-y one where everyone's turning into animals. That box is kind of like it's okay. But like the expansion models for it are fucking awesome. And it's like, I could take the leader out of that box and then get all the expansion models, but one of the reasons I'm leaning towards not getting that faction right away is because, for my second faction, I pretty much want it to be standalone, right? Like I want to really like the box by itself, because I'm not going to buy any expansion models right now. I'm just gonna get the just the box and try the game out. If I don't like the game, I don't like the game. It's whatever, I might end up picking up more just because I want to build the models or whatever. But we'll definitely put a hinder on my fun. Let me put it that way. So, yeah, I just got to figure out which one I think is really cool standalone. I think all the Gremlin ones are pretty great standalone, to be honest. But they are things that I painted a lot of before. Painting the like quote unquote showgirls in the Jack the Ripper one could be pretty fun too, because I don't think I've ever actually tried painting a mini and trying to make it like kind of sexy, so that might be kind of fun to try doing. Usually when I paint stuff, I want it to look grimy and shitty, like I just want everything to look like it just like, just like survived a bombing or like has been living in like, just goo for like years. So trying to paint something that will be like kind of clean and like attractive might be really different and fun. It's just not a thing you get to paint a lot in 40k, ironically. Even though there is a god of sex in 40k, most of its models are just kind of like scary. They're not like attractive, so. So that might be fun. Trying to paint the undead showgirls might be a lot of fun. Getting to paint some of the Oni might be really fun too. The Asian faction with the kitsune might be really fun to paint the kitsune and all the soldiers, like, because it's filled with like kung fu dudes. That box is. They all have like these swishes and stuff as they're like kicking and attacking. Those might be really fun to paint, especially if I painted them like magic to match the kitsune, so they're all like doing like kung fu magic. That might be really fun, especially if I did the kitsune in not normal colors. Maybe if I did it in like blues or something, it could look really cool. Yeah, that faction or that like group. No, group is the wrong word, because you have factions, you have keywords. That faction also gets a like Japanese style like otter. It's not in that box, so it's one of the add-on models, but it's really cool. And even if I end up hating the game, it's probably a model I'm going to pick up just to paint. It's pretty cool. All right. So back to enough of me talking about toys I'm going to buy. Let's talk about the toys that are actually in my hands. As you can see, I'm just sort of going around and I'm essentially like heavily dry brushing this stuff on. I'm not really like making sure it has amazing like god level coverage or anything, right? I'm just sort of, I'm getting some of it all around because it's going to dye the paint, and that's really what I want it here for. I'm not trying to get the like contrast effect out of this. I really just want it to dye the paint, you know, and I want it to produce sort of this like uneven kind of look to all the paint, you know, because it's sort of like how real creatures have. There's no real creatures just like this one's has solid brown fur. Like no creature exists like that. There's always like tones and changes and shifts and stuff. So what I'm really trying to do here is just get this dyed and get some like splotchy kind of ness all over the model. One, for visual interest, since this model is going to be so monotone, you know. And two, because like I said, it produces visual interest. Or no, that was number one. So two would be that just no creature has just like one solid body color. There's always variation in it. And so you can see it start to dry in a couple areas. So just look straight through and see what I missed. And you can see it's starting to dry here and there. The legs and the tail, and you can see the shell picked up pieces here and there where I overbrushed. See if there's some I missed up in there. Say I messed that up in there. We can go get that again. But yeah, there's all this like crazy overbrushing here, and that's fine. That's why we were like, we're not going to worry about the shell yet. There we go. All right, sweet. So now our buddy here, he needs to dry. So we're going to set him to the side, just like that. And we'll give him a couple minutes to dry, and then we'll come back and do his shell cleanup, and then any pink cleanup he needs, because he's going to need cleanup on the pink after that, and then he'll get his washes and he'll be done. My goal is to pretty much stream until he's done, so it shouldn't be that much longer, to be honest. Ugh. But yeah, there's some cool stuff here. I gotta read through the rules some more though. But the rules being free helps a lot for sure. Like I was telling a friend at dinner about this game yesterday. I was like, really, you don't need to buy really anything besides a team. You probably have a deck of cards. You probably have stuff you can use for tokens and stuff, and then you're golden. You just need some guys. But yeah, I gotta learn the rules still. I'm still getting the hang of it. I have most of the rules down except for the deck mechanic. I still don't 100% get that, to be honest. But pretty cool. It's a cutie little monster down there. But yeah, I gotta get the hang of it still. So this afternoon will probably be me and my dog sitting down on the floor reading this together till I get through it, and he'll get lots of cuddles. And yeah, and I will learn my rules. Alright, let's check our guy out. He still needs a little bit of time. Alright. Carnifex. Now we can eat the insides. No. I'm just pulling him over because we're going to get some stone golem down on him while we wait for the other guy to dry a little bit better. But yeah, the Malifaux stuff, I'm still trying to figure out which other team I'm going to get. I'm going to probably order it this weekend. Just don't know which one yet. Because they are very cheap on Amazon, which is really nice. It's like $40 and it's like that's all you need pretty much. I'll probably order some decks of cards for me and my husband to play. But yeah, kind of figure out who I'm going to get next. Really not sure who I'm leaning towards either, to be honest. But I do like the appearance of the like different like hillbilly goblins. I think they're really fun, but they are very similar to things I've painted before. When I picked the Dreamer, I was like, all right, well I paint a lot of like monsters, but I was like, I'll try to pick something that I don't always paint. I think one of the ones with maybe some of the sexy ladies could be good for that, because I don't normally paint sexy ladies. That might be fun. Give that a go. Yeah, I probably should have stripped this guy, to be honest. He's lost a little bit of detail. Oh well, it'll be okay, I think. I think once I have some other paint on there, it'll be fine. There's his custom noggin we built on stream the other day. God, that was probably like, what, 2 months ago? God, time is so bizarre during COVID, man. It just like does not make sense, I tell you. It like either speeds by or it crawls by. There's like no fucking in between during all this COVID nonsense. Like you look up and it's like, oh shit, the fucking month's over. And then you look up another time and you're like, it's been an hour. It's really crazy. So yeah, you can see this guy was blue beforehand. Dubba-dee-dubba-doo. I'm just trying to make sure all the blue's covered up for when he gets his gray. I should have just resprayed this guy before I did this, but oh well. Doing it wrong. Story of my life. Alright, there we go. You'll get some more loving later. But our buddy over here is probably done. There we go. Yeah, he's good enough. Alright, so what do we want to do? We want to pick out all the claws and the shells. And we want to touch those up and make sure they have really nice tight lines. So, things like the claws here in the back of the arm. You probably can't super see this on camera, but these are slightly gray. We're touching them up, so when your eye catches it, you can distinctly see a difference. Same thing with the claws down here, like that. And same thing with this big claw right here. Well, so they should show out pretty good. And we're going to make sure we get the backs of them. You don't want to do the fronts and not the backs, because that looks bad. And there we go. It's a little thick there, so I went through and cleaned that up. There we go, just like that. And then same thing on the back leg here. Got these spurs. We want to clean those up. Just like that. And then we have this hoof that we want to clean up. clean that up too. Go. So now it should have nice visual distinction there. I'm going to do the same thing here on this armor plate. I'm going to make sure that all the lines are nice and crisp between the two different, between the off-white and the gray. So like right here, for example, get that cleaned up. And get these edges cleaned up. That ain't no thing. Alright. Let's see. This goes in all the way to there. So we'll go ahead and we'll hit that. Same kind of logic. Just tying up those lines between. There we go. There we go. There we go. Alright. Realized that I missed this front armor here, so we'll come back and we'll hit that. But yeah, I'm really not sure what other team I'm going to pick. But we'll decide soon. We'll probably order them tonight. Get that painted, and then this little spike, and that little spike. And with the claw. And you want to do this one here. I'm kind of trying to do everything on one side at a time as I punch the camera with my face repeatedly. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to do like everything's on this side of the body, just because then it's easier to keep track of it. Because this guy has a lot of claws and a lot of things. Very easily miss some of them. Would not be hard to at all. So. Would not be hard to at all. There we go. There we go. Just like that. Okay. And back here to the tail again. Nice. And check the backs. But yeah, man. So Hammer and Bolter was pretty good. I enjoyed that. I'm going to be getting Warhammer Plus just because I pay for the fucking apps anyway, so I might as well. Because I mean, it's literally the same cost, so I'll just get all the animation stuff for free. Can't complain about that. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. I'm really disappointed the new Age of Sigmar stuff has not been announced yet. It's not been put up for pre-order yet. I was planning on going down to the city and actually pre-ordering a bunch of it. So I thought for sure it would be about today, but it's not. I guess not. So, my poor cruel boys do not get their army expansion yet. When it does, I'll be getting them, some of them, and then I'll going to be grabbing one of those dragons. Even though I don't know if I'll ever play a big enough game to play with the dragons. I think the battles are so cool. So. Oh. Alright. There we go. We're getting somewhere. We still gotta do the big top shell, but haven't done that on either side yet. So we remember that. Okay, nice and clear. Nice and easy to remember what we did and what we didn't. Really, painting these, the most important thing here is to have a clear distinction between the colors, because your brain will make them seem like they're more different colors than they actually are if there is a clear line between them. So that's one of the reasons why going back and cleaning up these lines is so important. Even though the colors are actually not that different at all, they will seem more different if there's a line between them. Tricking out your brain. Okay, let's see. We'll do this claw here, and then I do that one there in the back, and that and that. Okay. I'm going to do the inside of that claw. We haven't gotten that yet. But yeah, the Malifaux stuff is definitely interesting. I'm really, really hyped to try it. I really like the idea of not having dice. As much as I like buying dice, I think the idea of it running off of cards is kind of cool and very thematic, given that it's like kind of turn of the century, like, I don't know, gambling-y, kind of like Bayou, Louisiana-y. I think it's pretty cool. And I think it really fits that it uses cards because of that. Okay. Minus this big shell here, did we miss anything? Yes, we missed the shell in the front. There's a bunch there we need to clean up. There we go. But yeah, I'm not really sure how the Dreamer, the faction I have so far, Malifaux, is supposed to play. When I pick a faction, I would kind of like one that plays a little different. From what I can gather from his cards, without knowing the rules 100%, he's all about like basically like porting units in and summoning them in around the board. It's my understanding. But so it seems like he has this whole thing where like he can basically spawn them in anywhere because they're just nightmares. So that seems kind of cool. But yeah, like I said, not 100% figured it out yet. Almost there with this big dick crab. Honestly, this like whole color scheme's really easy to paint. It's actually super, super chill. Because of that, which is very cool. Makes it very relaxing and fun. Like, it's not like crazy blends or anything like insane patterns or weird paints, or because there's a lot of things that make make color schemes complex. Thankfully, this doesn't have any of them. Wish I would have filled that gap a little bit better than I did, though. We'll hit it with some paint, see if we can hide it a little bit better than we did. We'll get some of the really chunky paint. There we go. That helped a lot better than it had any right to. Jesus. I'm kind of trying to aim for the chunkier stuff that was drying out a little. And sort of like on the edge of the palette. Yeah, that helped a lot better than I thought it would. Wish it would have filled that gap a little better, though. I will fully admit, that kind of stuff happens to me a lot. Especially with mold lines. Mold lines are one of those things that like my brain does not see until I primed the fucking Mini. And then my brain is like, there's a mold line, and there's a mold line, and there's a mold line, and you didn't clean any of them up. Because you're bad at existing. So yeah. Like my Gene Stealers, they have a ton of mold lines on them because of that, because my brain just did not register them. Alright. There's our dick bug. Now let's get his donger all nice and glistening. So, super handy hobby item, bottle cap. Why is it super handy? Because this is a wash, and I don't really keep these things here super clean, but a bottle cap I do, because I can just open it up, use it, throw it away. So I'm going to get a bunch of the wash out. This is Flesh Wash. So it should, it is a brown based wash. It should add a bunch of grossness to the pink. It should give it like a multi-tone look to it. It's nice and easy hitting it with a Flesh Wash. We don't want it to be perfect. Just want it to like dye and clump around a little bit, and generally just make this stuff look gross. That's our goal here, is to make this pink look gross. That is the goal. So we want to make sure it gets in a lot of the crevices. We want to make sure it's just sort of generally all over the pink. Like that. Then we're going to tap these to make sure they have a lot sort of outlining the eye. So to help make the eye stand out if there's a little bit of a line around it. There we go. This is technically supposed to be like a sphincter kind of thing. So we want to make sure we have a lot there, because that implies that like it's deeper than it is. Same thing with these like side sphincters. I'm gonna make sure there's a lot there to fill in those gaps as well. On his big alien space dick. Sphincter dick. So if we touch any of the other colors, it is going to dye pretty heavily. So we will have to come back and touch those up if we do. Alright, there we go. I get the tubes going to the brain right there. And the same thing on this side. Getting in there as well. Alright, let's go ahead and let's get some more Flesh Wash out. Hello! Yeah, that's why I use the bottle caps, because they do. Because I don't do a good job of keeping my palette clean. So if I were to put wash in here, it would, I don't know, it would pick up all kinds of debris and old paint and stuff, and I just don't want that. So I'll just use the bottle caps. I started using the bottle caps when I was mixing custom paints for my Nurgle stuff, because all my Nurgle stuff is like custom contrast paints. So when I was doing that, I started using the bottle caps, and I've been using them ever since. Every time I put washes on a palette. So a couple of spots you'll see that I'm going to hit the model in areas that aren't pink, just because I want to grab those. I want to grab the detail that's there, you know. So you can see there on the inside of the shell there, and it just adds a really nice looking kind of detail to it. Alright, well, there's our big ol' alien dick. So let's move to the small brush now, and we'll keep doing the same thing, just hitting all the areas where there's pink. Just pinking those up, just like that. I should be sticking to one side like I was. This is going to make it, I'm going to miss stuff by swapping back and forth. So after I finish this arm here, I'll swap back to the other side again. Up in there too. Alright, back to this side. Okay, cool. Alright, so yeah, just working on the Tyranids. Ironically, right now all I have done is big bugs, and I have a couple of Gene Stealers started. I have like one done because he was my original test model, but most of it is just big bugs right now. Here's another area I'm going to hit to grab the detail, but not because it's pink. You see it is going to die pretty heavily, but it's okay because it relates back to the pink, so it will look good. And I'm just going to go one at a time, keep hitting the pink. Just like that. Just like that. I'm going to hit this here too. Like that. Alright. We want to hit that. We want to hit that. And then we got to get in this back hole butt. But yeah, my goal for today is to sit down with my Mr. Puppo and get some of those Malifaux rules read so I understand how they work. And then just make sure I pick my second team. Figure out what other team I'm going to play. That's sort of my goal for today. I don't really have anything else planned besides that. Yeah, finally someone who appreciates pink. Crevices in that model. Yes, this model is covered in alien buttholes. He is covered in so many alien buttholes. And yeah, pink is a lot of fun. My sisters actually have this same color pink. As the inside of all of their robes. They all have this pink color. I don't want the butthole to be that pink or that dark, so. You can see a couple areas where I messed up. I'm going to have to go back and clean up, but that's okay. That's the nature of using washes. You always end up messing something up with them. But as long as they're not over something that's super, super, super complex, it's okay. Because then you can just go clean it up nice and easy. It's one of the reasons why designing an order of operations for your painting is super important. Like super mega important. Then you never wind up in a situation where you have to apply the same wash twice, which could make it darker. Or you don't wind up in a situation where you have to, you know, you're painting over something you can make a lot of mistakes on. Because I am not a clean or neat or good painter. I just try to simplify the process as much as possible. And then it makes my life much easier. There we go. More little buttholes. See, these ones are more like muscle kind of things, I guess, than buttholes, but the ones on the back, those are definitely buttholes. Or the one on the front of the gun, also a giant butthole. But it probably shoots like, instead of literal shit, it probably shoots like worms that like crawl in your urethra, make your eyes explode or some crazy shit, like tyranids do. Because they all do fucking crazy shit. Their guns do. They all do like horrible, horrible, horrible things. Like burrow into your face and eat your way out like your ribs or some terrible shit. Just a couple more spots like I hit before. I just want to pull some details out here and there. Alright, so we need some spots to clean up on that. There. Do we have any else that we missed, or are we good? Looking pretty good. Alright. Once we're looking pretty good, let's get a little cheeky. Break out our friend the Nuln Oil. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit his teeth and a couple other spots. Not because we really want to darken these down, but because we want to fill in the crevices around it. Am I actually even on the cam? I don't know. There we go. This is how we could be hitting the armor spots instead. But honestly, I like doing it with the flesh wash. I like the brown. I think it produces some visual interest there. I think that's important. So, just because we want to darken the teeth down a little bit so they stand out. So I was trying to also do some lining around the eyes with the flesh wash, but it was not working as desired. It was not. I much more prefer it like that. See? Just like that. There we go. Now the eyes will stand out a little bit better on the gun. And we're going to do the same thing with his actual eyes down here so that they stand out a little better as well. Just like that. Well, Whoa. Now he's got truth. All the gene stealers. Now his eyeliner game is on point. Just like that. On all of his eyes. Not just the little ones. Alright, so pretty much now we just need to clean up some of the areas where I screwed up. And then this guy is done. So in the span of about an hour, we got him pretty much fully painted, which is pretty good. So I just need to clean up some of the spots that I fucked up. Most of which are around these tubes, to be honest. I messed up a lot of spots around these. Just things where I hit like corners and stuff I don't want to hit. Am I even on camera? Yeah, I am. Okay, good. Yeah, most of the mistakes are on this shell. But it's all good. That's why we have our order of operations, to clean up the colors. Just like that. But yeah. So the rest of my day is going to be spent learning Malifaux. Sitting downstairs with my doggo. Go camp out on the floor. And read my book. That's my only plan. I probably have to go buy a garbage disposal at some point, because I have to put a new one of those in because ours died. But I don't know if I'll actually get to that today. I also have to get some... God, no one cares about this. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here planning like what I have to do today while I'm on stream. Like, then I need to go get some wash from my backyard so that I can clean it up, because my dog poops out there. But no, nobody cares about that. I apologize. My brain is just kind of all over the place, to be honest. So it's planning out all the billion things to do. When the new codexes come out? Yeah, of course. Right now, I'll be super honest. I'm hiding inside because of the COVID numbers are really high, but we can figure out a way to make it work. I was really, really sad I didn't get to go to the Learn to Play, but the numbers were just way too high that day. And I was like, it's as much as I want to go and play AOS. No, I was like, it's too fucking high for me. Too fucking high for me. Alright, let's hit some more of the shell here. Let's try to brighten it up a little. But yeah. Well, what codexes do you mean? Hello. Real world relatable content. I appreciate that. I really do. But nobody cares that I need to fix my garbage disposal after this. I care. I mean, I don't even really care. I don't want to do it, but I also don't want to pay someone like $500 to do it when I can just do it myself. That shit's fucking expensive, man. And out here in Hawaii, getting somebody to like actually come out is a real pain in the ass. Because you don't know if you'll actually get a real person or like a crackhead. The like service industry out here in Hawaii is wild. Like you'll get like god tier people who like have installed, you know, garbage disposals like hanging upside down in a 747, like I don't know, for the president or something. And then you'll get like a dude who just owns a truck. And that's like the wild difference, and you never know which one of those you're gonna get. You just don't. So I'll be doing it myself, which is fine, but I gotta go buy one. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to find the same one I have already, because then I don't have to install the new like teeth under the sink. Just have to get a new motor for it, hopefully. Yes, my exciting day of installing a garbage disposal. But I put out way too much paint, so I'm going to just hit this guy some more and try to get rid of more of the blue that's on him. But yeah. So hopefully I'll get my time to figure out Malifaux. The roles do not look that complex, especially given that everything is on the app. Like, then that's just beyond awesome, to be honest. Like all the roles for all the units, it's all just there. Like 100%. Like the roles are there, the like making your team is there, everything. It's a really, really nice app. Like I really like Azure for AOS, but the Malifaux app like blows it out the fucking water. It's just such a good app. Alright, just wanted to get that last little bit used up there for Mr. Carnifex. Alright. Well, for the Codex, it's Tyranids and Genes to their calls. Okay. Reliable is hiring someone who's friend, for recommendation for a friend. I agree. Usually knowing the person in some friend of a friend is the best way out here, because you never fucking know otherwise. Yeah, Genes to the Cults are supposed to be out in December. We'll see if that actually happens. And the Tyranid Codex, who knows? It's going to be next year sometime. Skeptical about the Genes to their Cult rumor about December, since they're supposedly releasing along with Custodes. Yeah, so that's the rumor right now, is it's going to be Genes to their Cults and Custodes. And that it's actually going to be there's actually going to be a release box for it. That's what everyone's saying. I don't know if that's true or not. But it's what everyone's saying right now. I think it would make sense. Although, to be honest, they're kind of running out of Imperial factions. Like Black Templars are next week. Or not next week, but Black Templars are in a couple of weeks, and then you pretty much just have Custodes. There's not really anything else for the Imperium. Oh, I guess Imperial Guard. That's it. And yeah, I don't know. It feels like they front-loaded a lot of the Imperium stuff. Which, in my mind, I would split it out a little bit better, but hey, whatever. Which ones did you go with yesterday? Do you mean the Malifaux boxes? I haven't decided yet. That's what I was trying to figure out today. I've asked a couple people to like give me feedback on which ones they like, and I don't know. I'll pick one probably later today and try to figure it out. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it there because I need some food because I'm fucking hungry. But here's our big alien dick gun. Or I guess it's more of like a butthole dick gun. I don't know. It's got a big sphincter in the top. Versus Chaos Space Marines would be good, provided the world leaders and I'm sure they're good access. So the rumor is those are coming next year. That there's going to be like a big Chaos push thing. So you're going to get a codex for Chaos Space Marines, Emperor's Children, and World Eaters. Supposedly next year. Because Chaos isn't getting any codexes for the end until next year, at minimum. Personally, I would have liked to have seen Chaos Demons get rolled into every Chaos Codex. But that didn't happen with like Death Guard or Thousand Suns. So instead they have like the weird, stupid summoning roll bullshit still. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, man. Give me a call later. We can bullshit about stuff. But yeah, here he is. Big old alien dick gun. With his eyeliner game on point. And he will join the rest of my Ghost Crab Tyranids. Be a big artillery unit. So I've painted 3 big bugs now. I need to paint some troops. I don't have any troops really painted. So these guys here, they're going to be the next on the painting table. They're going to get painted up next. But yeah, if you came out and hung out today, thank you for coming and watching. Hopefully you enjoyed watching my Tyranid big bugs get painted up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go find some food because I am starving. It's literally all I've eaten today. So I'm going to find some food and going to have a good one. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was entertaining. I don't know. Yay for fucking up my meds this weekend. Anyway, have a good day, everybody, and keep on keeping on.